The initial practice reports for the San Francisco 49ers have come through, and they are not good. Let me tell you that they are pointing towards some potential key players not playing in this game against the Packers, which is a must win to keep the 49ers playoffs hopes alive. Oh boy, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We will hear the official word from Kyle Shanahan in about a half an hour on if Brock will play, if Trent will play, or if Nick Bosa will play. But let's talk about it all right now and give our instant reactions to what we've seen come out of 49ers practice today. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Oh boy, you know the saying goes, when it rains, it pours. And that's what it feels like is happening for the San Francisco 49ers right now. Let's quickly go through what we're seeing and what we are hearing. Starting with Nick Bosa and Trent Williams. Both of them did not practice today. That makes a clean sweep of the week of them not practicing. That report came through first. I saw from Nick Wagner of ESPN. And on top of that, obviously, these two, I think I'm a little bit more asterisk. They have a chance to play. Obviously, we saw last week Trent Williams did not practice at all last week, still played in the game, tested it pre-game. I would imagine we'll see a similar scenario, but like I said, we will know for sure if that will be the case when we hear from Kyle Shanahan. He'll either list him as questionable, doubtful. We'll find out what that will be coming up. So, but the trends are the trends, and last week this was the similar look for Trent Williams. So we will potentially keep an eye out for that. We'll see. But obviously, Nick Bosa, he didn't practice all week, and that is a new situation because if we look back at last week's trends, we saw Nick Bosa not practice on Wednesday and Thursday, but return for a limited participation on Friday. This time he doesn't log a limited participation, and so he's now officially in doubt. Now, again, officially from my standards, not from Kyle Shanahan. We will hear directly from Kyle here in a couple minutes. Like I said, about 30 minutes from now to give us the official word. But this is our initial reaction to seeing that both of these players did not practice this week. Obviously, Nick dealing with a new oblique injury, new hip injury on the opposite side that he originally was dealing with. So, whoo, boy, it is not great to hear that your star left tackle and your star pass rusher might be in jeopardy of missing a game that you have to win. And not only are you missing your star left tackle, but obviously the biggest news of the day sits with Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, according to reports, I believe Cam Inman put it out first, that the San Francisco 49ers quarterback, Brock Purdy, did not practice today. Oh, boy. Sound the alarms, ladies and gentlemen. We are now officially panicking that Brock Purdy will not be able to go in this game. And that creates quite the dilemma because obviously the 49ers are going to have to turn to a backup quarterback if he is officially ruled out today by Kyle Shanahan. And that means, and what we've heard is it's going to be Brandon Allen up next. We heard from John Lynch on KNBR this morning, echo those sentiments. He also did kind of leave it open like Josh Dobbs could potentially play in this game as well if it came to that. So tough, man. Tough break for the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, your season's on the line. Uh, your playoff hopes are on the line. I know a lot of people have chalked up this season already, but mathematically, they still have a shot to get into the playoffs. But it starts with a win against Green Bay in Green Bay. It was snowing earlier in the week. It's not supposed to be snowing on the day of the game. So that shouldn't be an issue, but it will be freezing from everything that we've heard. So, man, you talk about drama of the season. You talk about drama, man, all coming down to this game, it feels like. And now it appears that the 49ers are trending to having uh, some of their top players, including their signal caller, not available for this game. So I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. If you do believe that Brock isn't going to play in this game, I would have to say that based on how this week has gone, has not at all been trending in the right direction. I am at this point not optimistic that Brock will go for this one. I'm a little bit more optimistic with Trent and Nick, but with Brock, it's feeling like a no go. Um, from going out, he's gone backwards this week. So from going to a limited participation, not throwing, to then another limited participation, but leaving, and then having to go get rehab, and then missing the press conference, then pushing it back, and then now a DNP from what we've heard so far. What a tough situation it is for the 49ers if he is indeed out. And that means that the 49ers are putting their faith into Brandon Allen, most likely, who will get the start. And I've never, we've seen Brandon Allen in some preseason. We've seen Brandon Allen in training camp. I personally haven't seen Brandon Allen play a real game. I know he's backed up Joe Burrow in the past, and I do believe he's gotten some starts under his belt. Me personally, I haven't seen him play in a real game, so it's hard to feel super positive about this situation. Obviously, we have seen Joshua Dobbs start multiple games. I think that's where a lot of fans feel more comfortable with Joshua Dobbs going out there and potentially getting the start. Because we know what he is. We've seen him start. We've seen him start against the San Francisco 49ers when he was with the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, we saw what he was able to do in preseason against the Saints. And so I think fans are much, much more inclined to tilt the way of Joshua Dobbs. But it sounds like internally the San Francisco 49ers will be going with Brandon Allen at first crack if he can't woo. I'm only laughing so I don't cry, because this is absolutely devastating news in my opinion. And again, nothing's official. I want to continue to reiterate that point. Nothing that we're talking about is official. We are still kind of in speculation mode until Kyle Shanahan delivers the final injury report heading into this week in about 20 minutes. So 20 to 30 minutes. So, how you guys doing, by the way? Let me check in. How are we doing? How are we doing mentally? This season has absolutely put fans through the ringer. And again, it's not just the season. It was the off season. It was how last season ended. It has been a tumultuous ride for 49er fans since that final whistle of the last game of last year, the game that shall not be named, I don't even feel good saying it. Um, Nick says, "Wait, so this is a season-ending injury?" No, that's not what we're saying. We don't know. We don't know the severity of this. John Lynch spoke on it this morning on KMBR. He mentioned that they had an MRI. They didn't reveal all the findings of the MRI, but they did have an MRI. He made it sound like it was, okay. Um, he quote said, "We feel good about where it is from that standpoint." So they said they felt good. John Lynch said they felt good about what they got back from the MRI. So that to me tells me it's not season ending. Um, but could be a week, could be 2 weeks. We're gonna have to find out. And so yeah, yeah. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. So we don't know yet the severity. And again, I'm also speculating to be 100% transparent. There is a range of outcome where Kyle Shanahan says, we're placing Brock Purdy on IR. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen. Um, but we just don't know officially. What we do know is Brock did not practice today. He had a limited participation yesterday, a limited participation the day prior. Neither day he threw. Yesterday, he went and got an MRI. Sounded like directly after he started throwing and went in. So, boy, boy, it hurts. Oh, baby, it hurts. Me personally, I was really hoping that the San Francisco 49ers were going to be able to go on this crazy, miracle run, but the odds continue to not be in their favor as the season continues to progress. And as it currently stands, this is just another layer of adversity on top of all the other adversity that they're already currently dealing with, and not even being able to field your quarterback on the road in a hostile environment against a team that wants to crush you. Let's not gloss over the fact, I haven't really thought about it all that much this week because the San Francisco 49ers have been on the right side of this Green Bay rivalry. It hasn't been much of a rivalry from a 49ers standpoint. Historically, we know this matchup between these two franchises goes back. I posted the catch two earlier today. Um, one of my earliest memories as a 49er fan. And from under Kyle Shanahan, Kyle has, pretty much been on the right side of it. They did lose that one game where CJ Beathard went toe to toe with Aaron Rodgers. So, hey, I don't know if you guys remember that. Rookie CJ Beathard literally went toe to toe, almost took down Aaron Rodgers on prime time in Green Bay. But they had a defensive collapse there at the end, which ultimately lost the game for them. But in 2019, the San Francisco 49ers, absolutely boat race the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. In 2021, you had the Green Bay Packers get the win at the end. I think it was that week 3 matchup where I think it was actually against Diamador Lenore. They were able to get the win there for Green Bay. But then beyond that, the 49ers have the Tundra turnover game where you get the blocked, I think it was the blocked punt, Talanoa Hufanga scoop and score. So you win that one. You knock them out of the playoffs when they were primed to be a Super Bowl contender. You have the one last year where the San Francisco 49ers knocked the Green Bay Packers out of the playoffs when they had a lead. The 49ers come back. So I haven't thought about it too much, but I follow a lot of Green Bay Packer pages, and they want this win in the worst way. I've heard some of the ways some of the players have talked about this game. They really want to beat the San Francisco 49ers, and they do not care that they are coming in hurt. They don't care that they don't have their starting quarterback. They don't care if they're going to be down their starting left tackle, their starting defensive end. The Green Bay Packers are going to try to punch us in the face. They do not care uh, about the level of injured that the 49ers are. The 49ers have ruined their plans over and over again. And so they're coming in to try to ruin our plans. And the 49ers season is on the line this game. So they have an opportunity to send the 49ers packing, and they wouldn't love anything more. So it puts quite a emphasis on this game, man. It really does. And we're gonna find out a little bit more too about the Packers injury updates. But so far, from what I have heard, is that that's our Jair Alexander, their top cornerback, did not practice today, and is, from what I've seen from Packers reporters, it does sound like he is trending in the right direction uh, towards being out. So I guess that's not trending in the right direction. He's trending towards being out. So Jair Alexander might not play in this game, and also Edgar and Cooper, their linebacker, was a DNP, and he might not play in this game as well. So the Packers are dealing with some injuries as well. But I would say, as it stands right now, the 49ers are much more significant, because when you're dealing with a quarterback injury, that is pretty substantial. So we'll see. We will see. Also, I think Jacob Cowing, we didn't really talk about it yet. Jacob Cowing was working off to the side with Kevin Givens as well. So that's more on the lighter side. But Sergio says, is Brock going to play? We are going to find out. Let me see what the ticker says in 16 minutes and 20 seconds exactly. If that's when Kyle Shanahan indeed does go live, we will find out for sure the official game status. So as it stands right now, we are speculating on what we think is going to happen. We will know for sure whether it's a game time decision or if he is officially out in about 15 minutes. So we're basically kind of reacting to the practice updates that we've got, and we're kind of reacting to the impact of the potential of certain players not playing. We'll find out for sure very, very soon. So I know it's not a good time right now to be a 49er fan, because I know fans were already going through it. I think there was a small, contingency of 49er fans who are still holding out hope that the 49ers could come away with a win in Green Bay, kind of up their chances of competing for a playoff spot. Only one game out currently of the top of the NFC West. So we heard from Chris Forster when he was talking about it. He was asking about, is this doom or gloom? And I know football players, they don't think like fans, not even remotely close. If you're saying that there's a 1% chance that they can do something, they're going to do whatever they can to, realize that 1%. Being a football player and a coach in this league is about overcoming adversity. So they don't shy away from adversity. They don't pack it in when adversity strikes. So I could guarantee that inside this locker room, they understand the stakes. They understand what's on the line, but they're not throwing in a towel. They're not folding. They're going to continue to do their best to get a win. And so, but obviously not having your starting quarterback potentially, which we don't know just yet, but potentially not having your starting quarterback obviously puts a huge damper on that. Oh, so how are we, let's poll the chat. Let's poll the chat. Let's see how the chat's feeling. Let's do a quick poll. And this takes your involvement in the chat. Oh boy, I hope not. I, I've been quietly preparing for draft season, but I'm not ready to actually dive in uh, to draft season. So let's pull the chat. Um, let's do percentage. Let's do percentages. So 0% to 100%. I am polling your confidence level. How confident, if Brock Purdy can't go, what is your percentage? What is your confidence level in percentages from 0 to 100 that the 49ers come out with a win against the Green Bay Packers? Again, 0 being no shot, they don't win if Brock Purdy isn't your starting quarterback, or 100%, the 49ers are going to figure it out. They're going to be able to get it done, obviously. So I just want to see where we're feeling as a group. ST said 0. 187 said 0. We got a 30%. Joy said 0. 100%. Okay, I like the optimism, I guess you could say. 45%, 20 with Brock, 0 without. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. 25% that we think we can go in there without Brock to get the win. 10%, 60, 0. I mean, 60% without Brock is still, I would say, pretty confident. Gives you a shot, a substantial chance that you think that the 49ers could go in and get the dub. So I don't mind that. 50%, 49%. It's a good number. Yep. Shout out Aloha Smitty. 25%, 20%, 45. So it's definitely on the lower scale. Here's some optimism. We still have CMC, Kittle, Mason, and Jennings. Still got Debo. Man, fans have taken a turn on Debo. Not like they turned on him. I just think that a lot of fans are not they don't love they don't love the production that they've gotten from Debo Samuel this year. 50%, 25%, but Brandon Allen is pretty good. 30%, single digits, 30, 50. Yeah, so there are some confidence. There are some people that are confident out here, which, hey man, I'm not going to knock it at all. But it does feel like the average probably comes in between 40 and 60%. That kind of feels like the average. Actually, I would probably say more towards 40% is probably the average with the 0%ers. So probably about 40%, 30 to 40%. So effectively, confidence levels not super high at the moment. If Brock Purdy isn't playing. Dean says it's been a frustrating season. It's absolutely been a frustrating season. Um, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. Uh, absolutely. We talk about it all the time. We've been saying it on this channel. Uh, we had said it's not over till the fat lady sings. Obviously, a very popular sentiment and saying. And we said that, she's getting her vocal cords warmed up. She's me, 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 me. Oh, she's walking towards the stage right now. She's ready to step onto that stage and start pelting her greatest tune. Um she- we were talking about, well, we're keeping her off to the side. Hey, she can warm up her vocal cords, but we're gonna keep her over there. But no, she's getting closer, man. She's getting closer. I agree, man. Stay positive. I feel it. I feel it for sure. Um, but I mean, if we're being objectively honest, it's feeling like the walls are closing in on us. We can still squeak through, right? We can still do the improbable. There are plenty of variables that exist. We've seen crazier things happen. Obviously, I tried to reference earlier, you know, the 8-2 Steelers losing to the Browns just last night. Obviously, not apples to apples situation, but with the backup quarterback, they're able to still pull off the W. Um, but yeah, it does feel like the walls are closing in on the season, and they need and if Brock isn't going, the whole boy, they need a miracle. It feels like to pull this one out. It just feels like the walls are closing in, and even on the most optimistic, glass half full type of fans, it's getting to that point where it's like, oh boy, um where again, the locker room, I don't think is going to treat it that way. I don't think the locker room is going to pack it in. They have jobs to do. And again, it's important to remember for us as fans, is that they're also playing for their next season. They're also playing for a future contract. They're playing for a future spot. So I don't expect anyone to give up. I don't expect anyone on that roster, anyone on that coaching staff to throw in the towel. I expect them to go out and do whatever they can to get this win, regardless of the circumstances. We're just saying that it's going to be a little bit more challenging if obviously they don't have their starting quarterback, their starting left tackle, and their starting defensive end. So it's going to be a challenge, man. It's going to be a challenge for sure. But, hopefully something tilts in the 49ers uh situation. So so boy, oh boy. So we're gonna hear from Kyle Shanahan in not that long from now. So Kyle's scheduled to speak to the media at 1:45, so exactly 5 minutes from right now. And we go from there. Why is Mason not getting any touches? I don't know. I wish I had a good answer for you. Um, I don't know. It's not that he's not deserving of the carries, not that he can't handle the carries. I would say that Christian McCaffrey absolutely has to be your third down back. So I think for sure McCaffrey is going to own first and third down. To me, the variable down to get Mason in is second down, but that also requires the 49ers to be ahead of the sticks, in my opinion, because I do think there is a little bit more one-dimensional type play calling when Mason is in. So I think if the 49ers wanted to use Mason more, his money down would be second down. But again, you have to stay ahead of the sticks. You have to earn on first down. You have to have second and manageable to set you up for a third and manageable. So I would say, but in watching the tape, dude, CMC is a phenomenal pass protector. Not only is he great in the passing game as a receiver out of the backfield, but his ability as a blocker in pass protection, he can't come off the field. He has to be on the field on third down in obvious passing situations. It doesn't make sense to not have CMC in that scenario. And again, he's going to start the drive as well. So I don't know if that's the logic that they're trying to kind of imply, of why. So we'll see. I don't know. I would agree that I don't think CMC's 100% back. I still think he's getting those legs under him and things like that. So I think we expected that when he was going to return. So tough situation. All right. So I think this is what we're going to do. I think we'll shut down the stream for now. We'll shut down the stream. I'm going to go watch the press conference. We're going to get all the news out from the press conference. And then we're going to pop back on to react to whatever news that we get from Kyle Shanahan. And what I expect to find out is if Brock will or will not play. Obviously, there's a variable where he could be a game time decision, but I expect to know based on how this week has gone. And then we'll find out about Nick and Trent and see if those guys are also game time decisions as well. So we'll find out. But I'm gonna go get ready to see what the news is. And like I said, turn those notifications on, smash that like button, because we're gonna pop right back on live once we get all the news and we can kind of figure it out and we'll react to it. So appreciate everyone for tapping in. Make sure you have those notifications on, and we'll get into it right here after we hear from Kyle Shanahan. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to